I first want to say that I'm grateful to Senator Rubio and Senator Nelson for holding this school safety forum. I am extremely proud of their leadership on this issue, like no other. So, this is really great of them to hold this, and hopefully this will be the first of many to come. The morning, I just want to remind everybody, the morning of February 14th, my wife and I focused on helping our son, Alex, decide which courses he was going to take next semester. At 2:21 p.m., our lives descended into hell amid the frantic search for our little boy. After 2 hours of searching every hospital and not finding him, we were advised to go to the Marriott, a holding place that corralled the 17 families who could not find their loved ones. We sat there for hours and hours and hours. On my way there, I started to entertain the thought that my sweetest little boy, who loved to play basketball, his trombone, and video games, might still be at Marjory Stoneman Douglas on the cold cement floor, and that his mommy and daddy would never be able to tell him that we love him or hug him again. It was not until 1 a.m., over 9 hours later, that we learned what I had already felt deep down inside, that we would never see Alex again. And so I embarked on a mission here to see what we could do. Alex died because there was no protection in the schools. There was no protection in the doors. The horrible human being shot right through the glass windows and killed Alex, 2 other classmates, and injured 5 others, and proceeded to go down the hallways and kill and murder many, many others. I've spent the last 2 days meeting officials trying to convince them that we need a different approach. We need a new direction. I have met with Vice President Pence and the director of the FBI. It has been very sobering, depressing, and it's sometimes a hopeful experience. I'm depressed and upset to hear reports out of the FBI that after Columbine and Newtown, the number of attacks and attempted attacks increased tremendously. I'm afraid that that is going to happen again after this tragedy. I'm frightened to learn from law enforcement that they're worried about contagion, a disease that is spreading if we don't do something different from the past. But I'm hopeful in my conversations with leaders concerning support for national school safety standards. I'm not proposing that every school fence be 10 feet high. I am proposing minimum safety standards that schools can do to make their campuses safe. All airports have standards. No matter if they're in rural towns or in Miami, airports have standards that have been agreed upon. We can develop the same standards for schools. All fire sprinkler systems have standards before they're installed. All schools have standards. Police departments have standards. All industries have them. Why don't we have them for schools? We have failed to protect our children. I need all of your help to protect our schools and our children and all of our educators. There is a national strategy to combat wildlife traffic, to combat trading in poached animals. Why don't we have a national school safety strategy? Why are we protecting our animals better than our children? I never thought this would happen. Even in Columbine, we're only a couple of days away from that anniversary. It's been 19 years, and we've been focusing on mental health and prevention. Now, I'm not here to tell you that's not important. It's extremely important. But what I am here to tell you is that we need a fail-safe program. That fail-safe is protecting and hardening our schools, like what we did. So that leads me to Indiana. In my search for what could be done as a fail-safe, it's a last minute effort that we can, because humans make mistakes, as we know. All the agencies made mistakes, but I know that if the glass windows were bulletproof, my Alex and many other children would be alive today. So we need a new focus, a new emphasis on hardening, securing, and protecting our babies. The only way to do that, to prevent the senseless destruction of our future leaders, is to use technology. Obviously, we need to talk about all the other areas, but this is one of the major focuses, the reason I'm here. What I mean by that is I took a whole delegation to Indiana, and the Indiana Schools District is here to see what they have, to see what they've accomplished. I took many individuals from federal, state, local levels to see this school, and every one of them said they'd never seen technology that Indiana has developed. They'd never seen the integration with technology to make schools safe. Now, many people will say, Max, you can't tell school districts what they should do to harden their schools. I'm not suggesting that. All I'm talking about is minimum standards. Let me give you an example. There needs to be immediate notification within the school to law enforcement that a life threat emergency has begun. Every classroom needs to have a protected space so that children can be safe. Number 3, a continuous flow of real-time intelligence needs to take place between the school and the sheriff's department in an emergency. School needs to have an ability to remotely launch counterattacks to delay or stop an attack while responders are en route. The problem is these events are over within 6 minutes. In Parkland, this guy was gone by the time law enforcement arrived. We need to make the schools have the ability to defend itself, to protect itself, and to stop or interrupt the attacker to save lives. That is critical. And there needs to be an ability to have the classroom communicate with law enforcement so that law enforcement is not wasting their time going to every classroom and to check if children are safe. They need to have a system where in each classroom there's an ability for the classroom can say, okay, these kids are safe, there's an injured person, or even if there's somebody trying to get in the classroom. So I will not give up until we achieve this objective to make our schools safe. We can do this, and with Senator Rubio's help and Senator Nelson's help, we can achieve it. Thank you very much.